What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're starting a new series on this channel, so let's get it started. As we know, the season is basically over for the Detroit Lions. They are now eliminated from the playoff race, but we will keep you updated throughout the season, and we'll keep going with what's going on for the Detroit Lions. But we're going to start something that may be a little bit too early, but I think it will be really fun because we might as well focus on this because this season is basically over, okay? There are some young players, so I will keep you updated. You know I have been keeping you updated, okay? You know what I'm about. Also, go check out my other channel, Dose of Wolverines, if you're a Michigan fan of any sort. But in this video, we are going to start off a new series where I'm going to be looking at prospects one by one. So if you guys can remember when I was, it was probably last year, when we would do, well, this is actually in the summer. Wow, stop. Focus. During the summer, I would take a look at some of the players that we bring in. I would break them down, whether or not they're free agents, whether they were draft picks, whatever they were, and I would break them down. But now I'm going to do something a little bit different heading into the offseason, and that, my friend, is looking at some prospects that are going to be available for the Lions in the draft. We'll also be looking at free agent prospects, so let me know if you guys want to see that. But we're going to start off with the draft prospects. Now, for each positional group, I'm going to start off with probably the highest pick, and we'll go through, and we'll talk about a whole bunch of players. So there's tons of players that we can go through. We're just going to go through potential players. Now, right now, the Lions have a lot of opportunities to pretty much take anybody they want because they're going to have a pretty high draft pick, especially if they trade up. I mean, they're probably going to have a top 10 pick without a doubt. There's a really good chance they have a top 7 pick, and they could potentially have a top 5 pick. I don't know any farther than that. But we're going to be looking at a guy that may be just a little bit out of reach, I guess you could say, and that is the edge rusher in Chase Young. Okay, so now I don't like Ohio State. I know a lot of you guys don't, actually. I know some of you guys do, but that's okay. We all know Chase Young is really, really good, except for the game against Michigan. He had zeros across the board. He didn't do anything against Michigan, which I'll talk about why that happened in a second. But Chase Young is the first guy that we're going to be looking at. Now, this will be the highest prospect we could possibly get at the edge rusher position, okay? I'm assuming this guy will go second, okay? I think he'll go second. I think the Bengals may go elsewhere. I think the Bengals may go with a quarterback. I'm not exactly sure. There's a chance that he goes second, third. I mean, you don't really know. He could go first. So there is that good chance that even if Lions lose out, they probably won't have a high enough pick to select him, so they would have to trade up. But you know what? Sometimes the cards play out, and sometimes there's a guy that you really, really want, and you got to trade up for him because you just can't make an exception not to get him. Well, that could be Chase Young. This could be that generational talent that may really help this team turn around. Now, I'm not under the belief that the Lions are one player away from becoming a good team, but I do believe that Chase Young would definitely help out this defense. And as we know, our offense is really good. Our defense isn't. And this guy could change a lot of that. So this is a junior coming out of Ohio State. Ew, I hate saying that. He is projected, like I said, like a top 3 type of draft pick, something along those lines. So Lions would probably have to trade up even if they lost out to get this player. He's an edge rusher, and he was suspended at one point. A lot of people ask why he was suspended. I'm pretty sure it's because he borrowed money to go to a Rose Bowl game. Is that what it is? I think it was just borrowing money to go from a family friend. So he got suspended for that for a very short time. Didn't last very long. As we know, he was back against Michigan. A 6'5", 265-pound edge rusher. Again, he's a junior. And now when you look at this player, he seems like he's fit for a 4-3 type of defense in the NFL, but when you have this much talent, you can make it work. You know what I mean? Like, you got this much talent, we'll figure out, we'll find a place for you, okay? This guy will get opportunities if we get him. We'll figure it out in our defense because he is just that talented. Now, let's start off with some of the pros. Very good. Simply, he's a very good player, and he's someone that the offense is always going to be focused on, okay? Chase Young is that guy. You always think about him, right? You go into the game, and you're like, where is Chase Young at? You do this with some players. Sometimes when you play the Texans, you think, okay, where's J.J. Watt? You know he's a little bit older now. That's what you think. You think that against some good teams, right? You always look at that. If there's that one player on defense, Chase Young could be that guy. Now, he would be really good for the Lions because when you look at it, we have a pretty solid defensive line when healthy. I mean, even when we're a little bit banged up, we still have a pretty solid defensive line. Now, a lot of things will change after the season. I don't expect Mike Daniels to be back, so that would be a tough loss. But we still will have guys like Trey Flowers, most likely Snacks Harrison, most likely. I'm not sure. We did give him the extension. We'll see if he's still here. Well, we probably will have Ashawn Robinson, I would assume again. We're pretty deep. Austin Bryant, those guys. So Chase Young would definitely help out, and he wouldn't have all the pressure on him. That would open up other guys like Trey Flowers. You can focus on Trey Flowers, but that would definitely open up Chase Young, who had some ridiculous stats, okay? When I say ridiculous, I mean ridiculous. Like, I didn't even think these numbers were right when I first looked at it, okay? His stats for the 2019 season go like this. 38 tackles. No, that's all right. 16 and a half sacks, which I believe is a single-season record for the Ohio State Buckeyes, and 7 forced fumbles. 7 forced fumbles. I was like, that can't be right. I had to keep clicking. I was like, description. What is 7? 7 forced fumbles. I was like, holy cow. This guy had 7 forced fumbles. He's pretty good. Now, versus Penn State, had a heck of a game. 4 sacks. Versus Wisconsin, 3 sacks. So he knows how to play in the big moments. Now against Michigan, again, zeros across the board. Now Michigan did a really good job of getting the ball out of Shea Patterson's hands to not let Chase Young be a factor. Did he get a couple of hurries? Sure. Couldn't get to the quarterback because they got out of their hands so quickly, and they like to run the ball kind of at him, but kind of away from him to keep him off balance. So it was really hard for him to get anything going, but as we know, that game didn't go as planned anyways for us Michigan fans. But some other pros of this man, like I said, he's an offensive focus. He's also very quick, okay? This guy is quick. He has that explosion right off the football, and as soon as he snaps it, he's that guy that gets around. Y'all watch my gaming series, DeMarcus Lawrence. He'll look like that for the Detroit Lions. Insane. Great talent. Now, one thing that I like about getting edge rushers early is a lot of times they can come in and be great. You know, sometimes you get rookies and they come in and it takes some time to develop, like TJ Hockenson will. And sometimes edge rushers don't come in and they're not great because they only have one move. And that's one of the cons actually for him. He doesn't have a lot of moves. He has to work on that. But if you look at the Lions' defensive line, looks like none of them have any moves. They pretty much just run straight at their offensive linemen. So it's hard to watch. Hopefully the Lions can get someone that can actually teach these guys that actually knows what he's doing with the defensive line, okay? I don't know who our defensive line coach is, but what is he doing? I don't know. No, I'm serious. On a serious note, he's very talented. He needs to work on a few more moves. But still, this is one of those guys that could be really good right as soon as we bring him in. If you guys remember Myles Garrett from the Cleveland Browns, he wasn't as he is now right when he came in, but he still had an impact. Now he is insane. You can get these guys because there isn't that responsibility as a quarterback where you have to learn the offense, stuff like that. You're good. Your job, get to the quarterback. Get in the backfield and fill your gaps. Very simple. That's your job as an edge rusher. And that's what we would bring him in for because that's where we need help getting pressure. Because as we know, this season, we don't get a lot of pressure. Now, some of his cons are that he struggles to reset after his first engagement. So basically, if he goes in, he doesn't get by, he struggles to reset it and get back into the play. That's kind of a problem. It's really a lot about effort, and I think he'll be fine with that, and he'll be able to figure that out as time continues. But really, if you're not going to get back there on the first explosion anyways, sometimes the play is already over by that point. It just really depends. If we had a guy like Chase Young, a lot of teams would probably have to get the ball in their hands quicker, which can help out. As we know, we play a lot of press, tight man coverage. So that could be, a bonus for the Lions. That could definitely help out as the defense they continue to run next season. He can also play straight up and down. Like, this is the guy that can stand straight up in a stance. He can also get down and make moves out of the defensive end position. So he can do a lot of different things, all right? He doesn't have to just simply stand up or always be down. He can move around. He's versatile, 6'5", 265, super athletic. That's what I really like about him. Obviously, he was a 5-star recruit for Ohio State. Very talented. And like I said, not really known for the 3-4 type of hybrid defense that we run, but we would make it work, okay? We would figure out a way to get this guy in there because he is just that talented. So Chase Young comes in first. Could we get him? Possibly. I think it would take trading up even if we lost out. But honestly, this could be the guy that you have to trade up for, right? I mean, Josh Allen was there last year at 7. We didn't trade up to get him. We took TJ. We wanted TJ. This year, our guy, we may be looking at this and saying, I know Bob Quinn doesn't usually trade up. He did a little bit this year for Will Harris, so he will if he needs to. It's really hard to trade up in the top 3. Let me just say it. You have to give up a lot of resources, but sometimes it's worth it. Look at the Bears. They thought it was worth it to give a lot away to go get Khalil Mack, more than we were willing to offer. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. And you really never know because all these guys are unproven. But the thing I like about the edge rushers, once again, is these guys don't take forever to develop, right? I feel like there's less risk. I know there is risk. I feel like there's just a little bit less because this is not a guy that's known to be completely injury prone like some of the other guys we draft. Bob Quinn, stop drafting those guys. So seriously, I think this guy come in and have immediate impact, and that'd be very, very helpful for our team. So there you go. Chase Young comes in first. Can we get him? I don't know. I guess I could say I hope so. Okay, stop. Let me hear your thoughts, guys, below. Thank you, for watching. If you all want to see this series continue, let me know in the comments. And who do you want me to see me do next as a prospect? We may stay on the edge rushers. We can mix it up. You guys let me know. Thank you, for watching, and I'm out.